talk to them and show them how they may start the journey.
The journey of transformation.
Yes. Perhaps I may ask you, if I were to transform from a social scientist to a lawyer, for example, how would I become one? Professional transformation, for instance, how would I become one? Maybe I would do one, start by identifying the crisis, as I have told you. The wanting to move from one world to another one. Then I would do some preliminary thinking or research on whether the world I want to enter is actually a good world. Because you see, when you want to say, I want to move from an entrepreneur to a politician, before you move in, you may first find out, is the political world a better world? If I transform myself from a businessman to a true politician, like President Trump.
I think all that kind of transformation, like we already cited, actually begins with a dilemma.
Yes.
You are in the business world, and then oftentimes you meet places where for you to be able to clear a certain transaction, you need a politician.
Yes.
Then the politician maybe is asking for a lot of money, and you cannot continue dealing this way.
Yes.
So even when you're going to transform from a certain professional space to another one, like you've already cited out, I agree entirely that it begins with that disorienting situation that causes you to start questioning, should I really be a social scientist, or I need some law to back myself up and then take on these new tasks. Yeah, and I think that's where I think I would stand.
And perhaps to ask, what does it take to now make the bold decision and say, I am now going to shift from the businessman who is Trump to the politician who is the President Trump? What does it take to make that decision? Do you consult people? Do you consult your guardian angel, to use the religious expression? Do you simply jump into the jungle and say, I am facing it right now and not going back? How does it happen? Some of these questions I think our viewers will answer. They will advise, they will challenge us to think and read better and share more. But I think transformation is a continuous process. As long as everyone out there thinks they are not in the right place where they want to be, they should identify where they want to go, make a decision, and just start the journey. Yes.
Yeah, so I think greatly would classify personal transformation into 5 major aspects of life. Maybe you could look into one of these. Finances, financial transformation. We have already discussed to a great length social capital and relationship transformation. You can look at physical transformation.
Don't say that I can transform my physique and look like a lion.
Yes, people have transformed their physiques from inability to do certain activities and then to lifting 100 and so kilograms of weights. There is a spiritual transformation aspect. There is also the intellectual. Maybe I would
tell us about the spiritual. Because it's invisible.
I would also start with the financial transformation. Because I have been reading a certain material, and I think financial transformation barely bases on 5 things. Again, what some writer calls the 5 Gs. The 5 Gs, where the first G is get the money. You cannot be able to transform your finances if you cannot be able to get the money. And the money. Most people don't understand and don't know exactly how to get the money. Yeah, so you get the money by solving another person's problem. Most people think that you get the money by working hard. These days people say that you have to work smart, but I think the easiest way to get the money is by meeting a person, a neighbor, who has a challenge you solve that challenge. You most time you recognize that even if you don't ask for the money, I say, even if you go find someone, your car is broken on the road, the mechanic comes, he helps you, he repairs the tire, puts you and says buy back. Most people will even deny. They will even say no. Let me give you something. Yes. So the first step to transforming your finances is getting the money. And how you get the money is by solving another person's problem.
So fraudsters and robbers,
yes,
who enter your bank account and freeze the money and take it away, how we characterize those? Have they solved your problem or they have created for you a problem?
They have created for you a problem.
So how we call that? Isn't it also getting the money?
Yes, that's getting the money, but that is the negative way of getting the money. Most often, that kind of money never enriches and creates a positive. It never, you see, even people who gain from betting, casinos, and lotteries, most times the research has shown that the money is never productive.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So are there no people who have earned incomes and resources from underworld operations and they have grown these monies and become rich from them?
There are some, but the majority is that most times the excitement and the lack of the awareness of the steps of how to grow the money and increase it and keep it, because they have not been accustomed to the process of getting the money, then you find that most times they waste it, they spend it endlessly. Yes.
Is a come, is a go.
Is a come, is a go. Yeah, so the first process for financial transformation is getting the money. I remember when I visited you the other day, you were telling me a story where you shared a joke where you said, Brian, imagine the whole Bank of Uganda was given to you. You remember that story where you told me, imagine the entire Bank of Uganda was given to you and all the money in it. And then all the people in the world who are in the world were taken away.
Perhaps Bank of Uganda doesn't have enough money. Maybe the Federal Reserve Bank of the USA has more money. But if all the Federal Reserve Bank value, both monetary and non-monetary value, were given to you, and then you wake up, you have all this money, all the gold and all the other precious items in the reserve system, but then human beings are away. Either they are all dead, extinct, or they have flown to some other planet, or they have disappeared in some form or other. What would that be to you? That is important, but how does that relate to a stage of financial transformation?
Yes. Because we are saying that for you to get the money, you need to solve another person's problem. So even if you got all the money without human beings in existence, you'd have nothing to use the money for, because you cannot send your mother some money, you cannot send your father who is stranded some money.
You can't go to a shop and buy anything. So what is money, by the way? What is this thing?
Yeah.
Of course, we are interchanging finances and money. But what then is money, so that we can understand the idea of financial transformation?
Yes, so money essentially is a valuable thing, and it has, we call it quid pro quo. It has value that you can be able to exchange for some other thing.
Some other thing from some other person.
From some other person.
So it's the human constructed value of exchange.
Of exchange, yes.
Meaning, if I gave you my car,
yes,
and it can have value to you, and you give me your phone,
yes,
we have actually had a financial transaction.
Yes.
So barter trade of all times was itself a financial transaction.
Yes.
Just that it didn't have currencies,
because it
that symbolized money.
It involved the exchange of that value.
Yes.
Of which, according to the 5 stages that we talked about, financial value is in fact the lowest value. It's in fact.
Oh, really?
It's in fact the easiest value to
Then I should have lots of money with me.
Yes. So most people are not rich, but they could be rich and they could have more money if they understood that the essence of money is in solving another man's problem.
Yes.
When you solve another man's problem, money comes to you like a magnet. Most people go looking for the money and they never get it. Why?
Until they solve problems.
Because money is not a cause. Money